Hi, and welcome to the fourth episode of IVF Parent. My name is Stephanie Caballero, and I am your host. And today we are excited to bring to you a very special guest. Well, I think they're all special. But his name is Nadav Raanan, and he is the founder and CEO of Expecting AI. And Nadav created Expecting.ai after seeing firsthand how overwhelming and complicated the fertility journey can be for intended parents. So through his platform, he's working to simplify the process of finding surrogates, egg donors, clinics, and agencies by using technology and smart matching to make the journey more transparent and accessible. So in this episode, we'll talk with Nadav about the inspiration behind Expecting.ai, the challenges families face when navigating fertility and surrogacy, and how innovation and AI are beginning to transform this space. Welcome to IVF Parent. I have with me a very special guest. He is the founder of Expecting AI. And I can say his first name and I can't say his last name, so he's going to do it for me. Welcome, Nadav.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My last name actually is Raanan, which
Raanan. Oh,
in Hebrew, it means that Nadav it's generous and Raanan it's fresh.
oh,
So it was not intentionally, but that's the meaning of the two words.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love that. All right, so let's get started. So how did you start Expecting AI? And tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey and what led you there.
sure. So actually, I am 43 years old. I live in Israel, in Tel Aviv, and I have three amazing daughters.
Mm.
The oldest one is 11, and I have one that is 9 and 5, give or take.
Wow, you're a
Yeah,
girl dad. I love a girl
I'm a
dad.
girl dad, and this is the reason I don't have hair, I think.
Correct.
Yeah. And basically, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been all my life thinking about how to build things, how to create things, to take some idea, to take some concept, and to give it life.
Mhm.
And this is what I was doing for most of my life, my adult life. And my journey into expecting was from a different angle. My wife, 11 years ago, when we had our first daughter, she told me, listen, I had a good pregnancy, and I cannot imagine a woman that cannot have this experience and she cannot have children, and I want to help and I want to be a surrogate. So my first reaction was, um, sure, I don't know, it will pass. I didn't know what the surrogate was. So I said, sure, I don't
Sure.
know.
Why not?
And after the birth of my second daughter, she told me, listen, you remember the dream that I told you about? I'm going to do it. This is my dream to become surrogate. So I told her, hold on. I cannot say no to a dream. If you have a dream, you cannot say no to a dream. So I told her, listen, let's finish building our family and see how it goes. And I'm with you. So after the birth of my third daughter, she told me, okay, this is the time. And she applied to become a surrogate here in Israel. And here it's worked a bit differently. There is a
Uh,
committee.
yes. I've
Um,
heard about that committee.
yeah, which is a different concept from the US,
Yeah.
but basically the committee needs to approve you. And sadly, she was disqualified
Why?
because she had a postpartum depression and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and history of breast cancer in the family. So in here it was two strikes, and she was very upset about that. And during the process, I learned about surrogacy. I read, I understood more about this the pain and how things are handled in Israel, in the US.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I cannot be pregnant. I cannot help anyone by carry his baby, but I can build a company, a system that will help them in a different aspect. a platform that will centralize everything into one place
Yeah.
and to help them navigate and to understand better the process and to find um, surrogates or egg donors or whatever they're looking for into one place, and to communicate in a digital way, in a simple way. Uh, and I thought that it will take a lot of the burden of the intended parent have during this journey because they are coming with a lot of pain and not a lot of energy into it. By the time they realize they need the help of a surrogate or an egg donor or a sperm donor. So I'm sure that you can tell better than me about this, that
Yes.
when you're reaching to this point, you don't want to deal with too much complicity. And in this journey, there is a lot of complicity. So I build expecting in order to simplify everything.
Yes.
So that's the way I founded expecting.ai. It's technology companies, marketing companies,
Yeah.
is a solution company for not only for parents. It was intentionally built for all the players, all the participants in the third party production process, and we're giving solution to parents to find surrogates and egg donors and sperm donors and agencies and clinics and mental health professional and legal consultant and everything that they need into the journey.
Yep.
We collected all the industry into one place, but then we said, okay, but surrogates and donors are facing the same challenges.
They are. I'm on those Facebook groups. Oh my gosh. What agency do they go with? They have a compensation group, they have a support group. I love the support group. I mean, I tried to be pregnant and I had my own surrogacy journey. I have learned so much from these surrogates. I need to tell them that, truly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we thought about how to come to one place to see all the options that they have, to understand better, to compare, and to see this agency and that agency, and to communicate inside the system into one place that you can send messages, you can book appointments, you can exchange document, you can do a lot of things. You can manage the process inside expecting. So we thought about them. We thought about agencies that they need a place to communicate. Not all of them are have digital capabilities. Not all of them have a online catalog, for example. Not all of them have international reach.
Wait, some of them still do not have an online catalog
Some of them are still using PDF. I think that a lot of them are using PDF.
in 2025. I remember
And
this agency way back when we started. She was mailing things. I thought it was adorable back in, 2005. But 20 years later, so oh, that's lovely.
it's still happening. And because we know that, because we're telling them, listen, give us your database of surrogates and donors so we can upload it under your profile.
They
So they
got
don't
it.
have PDF, they don't have an online catalog that we can extract the information from there. So we are helping them to have international reach,
Yeah,
to have one place to communicate with intended parents, to manage the process into one place.
yeah, yeah,
And we did the same with clinics.
yeah.
So we're helping them to find intended parents and to help intended parents to find them, and also for donors and surrogates to apply with agencies or clinics.
Right.
So basically, we are connecting the this market into one place, and this is what we're doing.
Which is brilliant. I know the audience is going to have one question. How are you going to keep my data safe? Now, I always tell people because I'm on these committees and they're talking about safety and how some law offices don't, hold any data at all. And I'm like, listen, all our data is already out there. It's game over. Like my social security, I think some guy has been using my social security number, which is our identification number in the
Yeah,
US,
absolutely.
I think for like 15, 20 years. But my all my credit history is locked down. If you ran credit for me today, I like don't exist. Like because I all have it all locked down. But how do you protect? Because there's ransomware and I mean, my healthcare company was like had this huge ransomware incident like 3 or 4 years ago during the pandemic. So
Absolutely. So we are taking all the measurement out there to keep the information safe. We are compliance with everything that we need to be compliant for. So this is one advantage that we have with technology company.
yeah,
We're not using other third-party service. We are the company. We are doing the everything that is needed. Um, And for example, a lot of times agencies ask us, listen, I'm going to give you the surrogates and donors that are working with me. How would I know that you're not going to approach them? But then listen, we don't know, we don't want anything about them. Only the relevant information to the parents and a picture. I don't want to know their name, email, nothing about that. We are here to help you simplify your work, to help the parents find match faster. I think that today we are the biggest database on the world of US surrogates because we are working with so much agency. I think that we are working with around 100 agencies in the US,
Perfect.
which is, I think that we're working with the biggest and most known agencies and on all sides. It's not only the biggest, the best. If it's small, if it's medium size,
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't matter for us, and it's working great
Good.
because it's a synergy that we have. We are giving them a lift up, and they can
Right?
use our ability.
Yep.
And I think that we managed to create healthy relationship with the agencies and the clinics and all the providers we are working with the legal consultant and mental health professional, in a way that we are saying we are here to benefit each other. We are doing business between people,
Yes.
and it's not like any other business. It's not a commodity. It's not like you're selling tables or computers. This is people's life, and we need
Truly.
to treat it with the highest respect and dignity and best practice that there is. And everything starts with trust
Hmm.
and good manners. And this is the relationship that we build and expecting. I think that the reason today a lot of agencies, clinics, or and other professionals in the field coming to us in order to join expecting is because we are creating a good environment for that.
Yeah.
And I hope so, at least.
Well, it looks like a great environment. I mean, I just got asked to join, so that's how I came upon you, and I said, "Hey, Dana, I'm doing this podcast, and I want him on because what I love about this is you're a technology company, so agencies and other people in this industry, attorneys, IVF clinics, will trust you because your goal is to, like you said, to connect people so they have a good experience or as good experience as they can have, because you said it best. It's not like you're buying a phone. We are creating a living human breathing being. People are, they're either an egg donor or a sperm donor. They're like, oh my gosh, these women who give birth, I'm sure your wife said the same thing. Like, oh, I can't fit into my jeans. They're like, I've still got this baby weight and blah, blah, blah. I mean, she might have been one of these women who like slim down. But I met this nurse at Men Having Babies, and I said, listen, you just created two human beings with your body. You need to give yourself some grace, right? So I
Right.
think I think it's great that you're just doing this, but you are neutral. You are a technology company. So like you said, I don't want her email. I'm not going to go poach her. Why would I do that? This is not my job. My job is, and for those people listening, it's a real fear because clinics have done it to agencies, agencies have done it to other agencies, and it's my view in life is just not to be an asshole. You can say whatever cuss words you'd like on here. It's like, and really but when you do that, you're being an asshole, right? So it's great that you are doing this and you understand that this is not like, I'm not buying a water bottle, right? Like my surrogate created my children. I mean, obviously they were created with, sperm and egg, my egg and my husband's sperm, but without her, they would not exist, right?
Exactly. There is a lot of trust in here. This is
Yes.
uh, um, a field, I don't know how to call it, that build on trust. In the end of the day, she's carrying your baby. You need to give a lot of trust in this person to give the best care while it's inside her body. And and I think that everyone needs to take the highest standards into this business, especially us, because if we have a bad practice, we are not here to sell car and to go away. We are here to solve. And if something succeeding, we are succeeding. If the agency is succeeding or the data parents eventually have a good experience and a good journey and successful journey, so we are
Yes.
succeeding. This is the interest that we have,
Yes.
and we are very dedicated into this. This is purpose. This is the big picture that we see. And if instead parents come to us and say, "Listen, I've been waiting for a year and sometimes 2 years on a waiting list because the agency doesn't have surrogates available," and I'm saying, "Listen, we have 300 surrogates available at the moment in the system. Why not searching for one? Finding the right match for you. Read about the agency, read about the experience, read
Yeah.
about the success rate, read about the team, read about the reviews, and then you can take an educated decision and not just putting some down payments and waiting in line for God knows what and when you have options. And this is what we want to give to the parents, options.
Options. Because
Because
there's some people, you're right, Nadav, there are some people who want to go with that agencies. They put their money down, they pick their agency, and they are willing to wait a year and a half. Absolutely. I don't, I don't, I don't understand it because you're right. It was so emotional when I was trying and trying and trying to have a baby. By the time I got my surrogate, I mean, I kind of wanted to wait a few months after December, but I called my doctor, said I found my surrogate. He said, okay. It was back in the paper days, rustling paper with his calendar. Because it was the year 2000. Things were just transitioning. Um,
yeah,
and he says, okay, it's October. Okay, yeah, we can do a December transfer. Because remember, it was day 3 then. So no day 5, no testing. I, did my egg retrieval, and 3 days later she did her transfer. And I was thinking March, but I'm glad that, obviously that we did it in December and we did it that fast. But I don't for those parents, like I've met them and they're still waiting and they've got embryos. I'm like, there are agencies that you don't have to wait. Like you said, you have 300 surrogates on expecting.ai. So, yeah,
but you'll be surprised that a lot of them don't know that they have options,
no,
that they
they
can
don't.
come to a place and find surrogates, and then they can read about other agencies.
Yep.
Because the way it's happening now, a lot of them will go to friends and tell, "Listen, I heard about this agency." They will get recommendation or something like that, and I understand them. It's challenging, and they will go to the first one they will know. They will tell them, "Listen, you can sign with us and this and that." They don't know that they have options, and this is our mission to tell them you have options, and you can do it much faster and even
Right.
cheaper because then you can compare. You can say I can instead of finding a surrogate in a different state, maybe you'll find a surrogate in your state and save a lot of money for travels and whatever it is.
Whatever.
So
Or some people are so wedded to like everything in my state, but you don't have to do that. I represent surrogates, parents, donors, and surrogates love to travel. Intended parents are shocked. I'm like, oh no. They think it's great that, oh, I'm in, Texas and your clinic's in LA. Yep. Sign me up. Put me on a plane, right? Because they get a little break, they get a little trip, right? Or LA to Texas,
exactly.
whatever. They get a little tiny break. And then for the transfer, some of them they like, nope, I don't need anybody. Husband, spouse, whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, they're going to stay home with the kids. And I'm going to go do my transfer and I'm going to stay in a hotel for a day or two. See ya. No, they love it. They do. But you're right. To cut down on costs, it's a great idea to have less travel because travel, as we all know, is pricey. Everything's pricey.
Exactly.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's applicable for surrogates, it's applicable for egg donors.
Yep.
Um, so in the end of the day, when you have options, and we have like I think around 10,000 egg donors in our system. So there is no chance that you will
Same.
not find the right donor for you.
Yes. Yep.
You can go to a clinic or to an agency to have 100, 200, whatever. But
Yep.
when you're looking for the DNA of your child, you need to do it from the biggest data. I don't know if we're the biggest, but we are quite significant.
Yep.
And I think that the way that we build, a big part of expecting the idea, but expecting also to integrate technology and AI technology. We are called expecting AI because we build um, above expecting. We build Amy. This is the first AI agent that can help you in every step of the journey. You
That's
can go
perfect.
to Amy and you can say you could chat with her and say, listen, I'm looking for a surrogate in uh, California with the compensation up to $50,000, and
Yep.
I want her to be with the BMI under 30, 31,
31.
28,
Yep.
whatever you look for. And Amy will find you the profile inside the chat. You can see it inside the chat.
Oh,
You
I
can
love that.
filter. You can ask question about the process. And you can get all the information with the help of a dedicated agent for you. 24/7 agent that is dedicated to you and to give you the information that you're looking for and to
Right.
find you the match that you're looking for. So we build expecting Amy above expecting that eventually will carry the information and it'll help you find the match even faster than it used to.
Right, because donor searches and your donor is your DNA, your donor is for life. So you really want to take your time. So that's a great thing that you can put in because people go to a website and let's say, they've got, thousands of donors. Even thousands is overwhelming to people, right? So I know
Please.
people that will utilize their case manager because they're like, okay, please help me. I would be one of those people. I would be, this is what I want. Can you send me your top five?
By the way, we see it a lot. It's indeed overwhelming. So that's
Yeah,
the reason we
yeah.
have a care team that actually help the parent
Help the parent.
to focus on what they're looking for, to understand better they need, to give
Right.
them solution that they didn't thought about, and
Yeah.
to tell them what is more important. Um, the looks, if she's blonde, if she's tall, if she's educated, it's great, but it's not the most important thing. I,
No.
for example, have a daughter that is blonde with blue eyes.
I was
She
just gonna
looks
ask.
nothing like me.
Yep.
Uh,
You're like,
because
yeah. You're like, how did that
and
happen?
her sisters are brown hair, brown eyes.
Right.
So the DNA is tricky. You don't know, and you need to focus on what
You
is
never know.
matter the most, and we need to educate them about that.
Yeah.
So our team also help them.
Yep.
Like we are combining technology with human care.
See,
Eventually,
that's perfect. I think you need both, especially in this industry.
you need to have both in this industry.
Yep. Yep.
Eventually, it's again, it's people in here.
Yeah.
So we can integrate the technology to help you with getting more information and to find the right match and to do the case management for you and to help you with the technical things. But eventually, we can also hold your hand and we'll tell you that everything going to be okay. And if
Right.
something goes south, we will help you with that. If you are feeling lost, we will guide you.
Got you. That's
Uh,
perfect. You mentioned, you want to have the best people. So how do you make sure that, because we all know our industry has taken some hits lately. There's been
yeah,
some bad actors. The Marks, I'll just say it, the Mark surrogacy case, um, you know, so that, where the couple had, multiple children. There's been some, cases like the scene breach, where she stole the money from intended
exactly.
parents, which is just disgusting, right? You're so vulnerable at that time. But anyway, so how do you protect and help ensure to the best of your ability that the people on your site are not those people?
So it's a challenge, I can
Yeah.
tell you that. But we have an advantage, and the advantage is that we are speaking to everyone. Because we are neutral in this industry, um, we speak with everyone and we hear, we know, we hear stories, we hear cases, we hear the bad things that happen, we hear also the good things. We hear about
Yeah.
bad practice.
Yeah.
So, and we have the ability to get reviews from all places and to do some kind of screening and monitoring that the provider that are with us are decent and good. Not all of them will be the best professional that are out there. It's impossible to do so.
It is.
But if we know that someone is have a bad practice, it will be he or she will be removed from the system.
Yeah.
We are quite selective about that. Um, we are trying our best, not to drop the ball. It can happen
It
because
can.
once you're working with scale, it's becoming more challenging. But it's up to us to do our job well.
Right. Plus, like I may have information. I actually provided you guys information on, I had it beforehand. So if I have information, I'm going to let you know because I don't want somebody that I know is not on the up and up and doesn't have the best interests of everybody at heart to be on your website. But you're right. We all, if you don't, you should set Google alerts. They're very helpful for finding
Yeah,
out things about the industry for sure.
we
But you're
do.
right. Like Seam Breach, I didn't, first of all, I had no idea who Dominique Side was until I went to the Seeds conference and I saw her and I'm like, who is this? And what is this escrow company? And then she actually appeared on the panel, and then a week later, it all came crashing down. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody would have known beforehand because, they'd have been in business for a long time. She was so respected. The Mark Sergesi case, that is such an outlier. Um, I don't know what to make of that case. But you know what? In every field, this is what I tell people, in every field, there are going to be bad actors. I've spoken to journalists who have been doing, fraud and investigative reporting for 20 years, and, they say the same thing. They do say, though, that there just seems to be a piece that is not regulated, and that is agencies. I'm licensed, the physicians are licensed, the mental health professionals are licensed. In Israel, you have a committee, which, yes,
Right.
they're very careful. I did talk to, I forget who I was talking to you about how they became very selective because about depression. So I do know about that with the committee, how very strict they are. So we're still getting Israeli clients to come to the U.S., right?
Of
So
course.
every country is different on how they handle it, but I think there is a lot of talk on some form of licensing for agencies, something, right?
I think that the seeds and SRM and all of these bodies are doing a good job. And I'm not here to say if it's enough or not. It's
Yeah,
it's it's tricky. It's
it's
tricky.
tricky. It's tricky.
Not always the regulation are giving the best results.
You're right.
Sometimes they are missing the purpose, and and but I think that we are a member of SEEDS and ASRM. We are do embrace the practice there. Yeah. Um, by the way, I didn't mention that, but I'm also a lawyer here in
Oh,
Israel.
just like I
Yeah,
am.
I'm a certified lawyer, although I didn't practice it a day in my life. I also have a master in law actually.
Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, for my
I
Jewish mother,
I
that
think
was
what
the
right.
purpose.
I think what you're doing is much better. You
Yeah,
found your
exactly.
niche. But you're right. Licensing is not going to be the end all, and it's not going to prevent bad actors because right? Just, there's attorneys in my field that have, gone bad, right? There's agencies, there's physicians. I mean,
Physician, they're
so
licensed and regulated, but still
still, but at least it's going to be something. And maybe it'll prevent 5% or however percentage, but it's just something. At least there's a background check. And yes, you could probably be an agency if you're not licensed. But do you want to pick a licensed agency over one that's not licensed? You probably want licensed, we don't know how it's all going to work. But I think you're right. I think being members of Seeds, ASRM, asking questions, asking as many people, I got reached out by an intended parent. I said, listen, he's looking at 5 agencies. I'm going to point him in your direction just to give him more information. But I said, ask questions. You can never ask too many questions nowadays, for sure.
we see it because users when they are using expecting, they see all the agencies that we are working with and they can message them. So we see how many agencies they are contacting and what's the level of communication. and it's great because they are doing research.
Yep.
They're they're checking, they're asking questions, they're trying to find the best one for them, and I think that it's very value good value that we give to the
Yeah.
intended parents eventually. Besides of helping them to find a match faster, to find someone very fast, it's good.
It's
But
good because
but
before you could like do a surrogacy and an egg donation and have your baby in a year. Now you get your embryos in 6 months. And then this one
exactly.
surrogate on this group goes, well, she's a new surrogate. Hi, I just got matched. How long is it going to be for my transfer? And one surrogate goes about 436 years. Like it's just right. Like everything takes so much longer today. So, oh,
That's true.
yeah. Okay, so another thing is, as we all know, the United States has become incredibly expensive. IVF,
Right.
surrogacy, really and truly. I mean, I met an intended parent, one of my clients, he has 12 or 13-year-old twins, makes a good living. He's in Germany. He's like, Stephanie, I couldn't afford the United States today. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I couldn't really either. So do you have other agencies who work in other places on your website? I know
Yeah.
Mexico's a hot one, Colombia, people talk about Georgia. Some people even still talk about Ukraine. Geez, dear God in heaven, the war needs to end. And speaking of wars, it seems your ceasefire is holding. Thank God.
Yeah, it's holding for now. We think it's good.
Yes.
I hope that we passed, the main war.
Correct.
There is also conflict in here. We are surrounded by enemies, so there always a sword above our head. But I think that we are getting used to it
Yeah,
for
you do live
so
in
many
a
years
tricky
now.
area for sure. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well,
But
but
I
we're
have to
doing well. I
come.
think
I
that
hear Tel Aviv is
you,
beautiful. It's on my list.
listen. I'm okay. I'm not neutral with that, and I'm very much biased because I live in Tel Aviv. But I think that Tel Aviv is the best place to live in the world,
Yeah.
um, because Israel is very small and Tel Aviv is quite small, although it's the biggest,
Mm.
not the second one in Israel, right on the coastline.
I know I love the
Great,
coast.
great people, great food, great music,
I've heard.
uh, great beaches. It's amazing for us to live here.
Yep.
And I will tell you that although we are living in surrounded by enemies and we have wars and we have everything, and Israelis are one of the most happiest people on earth.
Yeah.
Um, we are ranked all the time like very high on the list. Um, and we are very used to this kind of situation, to war, to missiles, to everything, and nothing is shaking us. We're here.
You're very
We are
resilient.
very resilient.
Very resilient.
Um, I
Yep.
can tell you stories until tomorrow, but
I know. Right, right,
for
right.
the next episode.
Yeah, that's the next episode. Yes, yes. Or when I come see
But
you. I have a tentative plan to come to Israel this year. Tentative.
so I'll be happy to have you here. It will be
Yeah,
great.
so excited. Yes.
Come in May because it's the best weather.
Yes, I
Uh,
heard that. It's
May,
tentative for
June,
May. Yeah, it's
yeah,
tentative for May, June. So fingers
July
crossed.
and August. It's very humid in here, very hot.
Yeah.
But going back to your question about other places for surrogacy in the world, yeah, we do work with agencies outside of the US, although our focus is in the US because of its reason of experience and ethics
Yep.
and transparency and technology and all of that. The US has become very expensive, and we do see people going to other places. If it's Georgia, the country,
Yep.
if it's Armenia as well, cost there can be very like 60, 70,000 euros.
Yeah.
It's quite low in comparison.
Quite low.
Um, in Mexico, in Colombia, there is programs there. We are less keen about sending people there because we are not quite um, comfortable yet, and to refer parents to places that we are not knowing well about what's going on there.
Yeah, I think that's
And
smart for you because, I obviously in California, my family's from Mexico. My mom's first generation. My husband is first generation, right? But you're right. If you don't know a place, like if I don't know somebody, I'm not going to recommend it. So it's smart. You know the people in Georgia, Armenia, you probably, I don't know if you have Ukraine, but hopefully when that war ends, it can go back to, doing that. But you're right, because people want, even in Georgia, they want to make sure, hopefully, that the donor is well taken care of, the surrogate. And that's the thing about the United States is the surrogate is also the patient. It's not just the intended parents, right?
Right,
The
right.
doctor, there's a duty of care to both of them. And you want to make sure no matter where you go, that there's a duty of care to both.
The, the
Anybody.
thing the thing is that in a lot of places outside of the US, people don't meet the surrogates even in some
Yeah,
cases. And this is, and some people prefer that. Some people prefer to say
right.
it's too emotional for us. We don't want the personal touch and everything, which is it's fine. But if you do want this, but you don't have the weekly or monthly or daily communication that you desire, because it's not an option in this country. So it's a problem. You don't. We need to be very selective about the agency that you're working with, and to have trust that they are taking care of the surrogates and the donors, and there is no explosion there. Uh, in,
Really.
in, and we are trying to be more involved in these places, to understand better, and to meet with them sometimes in person, so we can know that once we add them to expecting, uh, we did what is needed, or at least the minimum that we can do in order to make sure that
Right.
they're decent enough.
That's a great thing. I know a lot of people though, because they love the US, they're either, getting their embryos in the US and they're, working with a Mexican surrogate or a Colombian surrogate, or they're doing their IVF in Canada and working with a US surrogate because Canada was amazing, but it's very, very difficult to find a surrogate right now. It's
Exactly.
incredibly difficult. Yeah,
Exactly. And I think that for the gay community in Israel, uh, mostly, they don't have a lot of options.
no,
So they have the US, and now they have, I think, Armenia, and there is some programs in Latin America, but it's not stable enough. It's
yeah,
not transparent enough. It's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
but a lot of people go there because of the cost,
They
and I
do,
can
they
understand
do,
them. They don't have options. So if they don't have money to do it in the US, they do need other option, and
they
we are trying to
do.
help them.
They do. They do. So it's great that you have that. That's why I wanted to ask. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I think that, do you have anything else to say? Like some last words for the people? I always just love to give people hope. And I think, not that I know you very well, but so far that's what you've tried to give is people hope.
I think that, yeah, that's our purpose, to give hopes and solution and to ease pain that people encounter in these journeys.
Yeah.
And if we succeed in this, I think that we did a lot for us is people, to help someone to create a family. So you can be a surrogate, you can be the physician, or you can be the company that helped to fulfill this magic, and it's very fulfilling for us. And so we will go to sleep, with a smile, and
Right.
this is the best thing that we can do.
There's nothing like it in the world. Some of my clients, and I don't know if you get this, they think like we've seen so many baby pictures, we don't want to see them or we don't want to meet the babies. I never get tired of seeing a baby. I play a little small part. I'm the legal, the contract, the parentage order. Oh my gosh. To meet a baby I helped in some small way put into this world. I was just in Paris and my client, every time I come, she brings her daughter, who's now 4. Oh my gosh. She's like a bundle of joy. Geez, Lou, the energy. Woo!
Listen, Stephanie, I want to thank you for having me. It
Oh,
was great meeting you, and it's great being on your new podcast. And I'm happy that I had the chance to be, I don't know if the first one, but at least from you know first once in the new
Right.
podcast.
Yes. Well, the pleasure is all mine. I'm so glad that you came on the podcast, and we will talk soon.